Perhaps the update on all of the things we've reeled out is the effrontery with which these bandits now display their act online. Go to TikTok, you see them brag, you see them engage viewers, you see them drop comments. How difficult is it to use that kind of technology? Because
I'm sorry to say it's an indication of the impunity within our security sector. Tracking individuals online in the digital space is extremely easy. First off, every device that they are using has a signature. The platform that they are using has credentials that you can use to track, even if it's not their own and they're using someone else's own. You can create a social web that will allow you to eventually identify who they are. So if it's politically expedient to track them and to arrest them and to try them, it will be done. But I think for some odd reasons at the moment, because of the impunity that exists within the security sector, that is not being done at the moment. I mean, today, the social media, there was a viral post by a young bandit who was, in simple terms, challenging the supremacy of the Nigerian state, its sovereignty, saying some very stupid things, and it went viral. I believe that by now that young man should have been arrested and a lesson taught to his peers who would want to follow him. But because over time we've not done that, I mean, once you pick TikTok, the number of displays you would see, brazen displays by these criminals, is shocking. And sometimes, you know, when I speak to my friends from across the world, they ask the question that where are Nigeria's security organizations? And I must say, it's not as if we lack the presence of security departments. I keep on saying we have up to 42 of them, 29 primary ones, then an additional 14 that are supporting these 29 primary ones. And they have the capacity to track these things. So again, if it's politically expedient and there is we break that impunity, they will start tracking them and we see a reduction in this brazen criminality that we're seeing today.
In short, you're saying that we should question our security infrastructure as it is currently constituted if we find these bandits online and we can't track them. I'd like us to know.
Let me clarify that, Nife. Yes. I'm not saying we should question the infrastructure. I believe the infrastructure has enough capability to do it, but it's not the impunity that exists within this sector is stopping that from happening. I mean, you know, I'm mindful of the fact that it's a public forum. Recently, a young man posted about a coup in Port Harcourt. How long did it take the security organizations to go after him and track him? Not very long. So they can use the same technology and track these bad guys. It's the same technology that they used in tracking that man that they could have used in tracking these terrible monsters who are doing very dastardly things to our
precisely. Who should we hold responsible for this impunity?
So the structure of the national security enterprise has different elements. They are the coordinating elements. Now, the coordinating elements are the ones that should have a level of responsibility in terms of organizing and managing the activities of the security sector. So that's the first level of responsibility. The various ministers, the national security advisor, and then underneath them you have the tactical and operational heads, the service chiefs, the GOCs, name them. So that's how it goes. But then the beauty of our democracy is that all of these elements are within the executive arm of government. Where we're seeing this type of failure, then the National Assembly should have been putting pressure on the executive arm of government through legislative instruments, their oversight functions through motions, and sometimes even congressional hearings like what we see in the United States. Those are ways that the democratic system of government has allowed the legislature to put pressure on the executive arm. So when you ask me who should, these are the various elements that should be doing it. Unfortunately, in 2025, we're not seeing any of these elements putting that kind of level of accountability on our security sector.
And you know that the lawmakers are now also objects of the public outcry, especially following the public hearing we saw at the U.S. Congress. Let's take a short break. Dr. Damu, and we'll be right back.